Hey, hi. Hopefully you guys can hear me. This is Beck Pitt from the OER Research Hub team here. It's great to see. Welcome, Melissa and Andreas, to this call. It's really great to have you guys here. Um, this session is a kind of general Q&A. So it was kind of a drop-by session, just so in case anybody had a question about the course that's taking place. We're starting on Monday, the 15th, and sign up for the course closes tomorrow. So the idea of this session is just in case you guys had any questions about how we're facilitating the course, what we're covering. Yeah, it was more a kind of Q&A session. So we're going to properly start every week. Starting with next week, we're going to have the kind of proper hangouts where we'll be talking about the course material for that week. But this week, it's just really a kind of test run, I suppose, as well, with the hangouts for me. But also just to see if you guys had any questions before we get going. So I don't know if anyone does have any questions. Hi, Mariano. Great to see you here. Hi. But feel free to ask away. I know. Thank you to Melissa and Andres for introducing themselves as well. As I kind of said, I don't have any agenda, so if you guys did have anything that you wanted to talk about, that would be great. And then obviously next week will be a bit more structured because we'll be talking about the activities and stuff that we're covering then. So I'll hand over to you guys in a minute, and maybe whilst you're thinking about or asking questions, I'll also have a look if we've got anything on the HackPad or on Twitter with questions from people. Thanks. Okay, great. Okay. So yeah, I mean, it can be a question about anything at all. So feel free to. It was kind of designed. So just to give you a bit of background, obviously when we get going on the course, we're going to have a lot more structure to this. This was really just so that if you've got a question, you can drop by and kind of ask them. So there's nothing coming up on the Twitter feed at the moment, and nothing on the HackPad, which is great. It means no one's got any questions, which is, that's good to know that the stuff that we've written in the description, it seems to be okay with everybody. I don't know if it's worth quickly just having a look through the course. While we've got people here, I guess you guys are aware. Oh, there is a question here. Okay, one question. Thanks, Andres, that's great. One question is if you guys are covering issues related to open science and public policy. We haven't got anything specific in the course as such. Obviously, what we're trying to partly do with the course is, obviously you can already view the content of what we'll be covering, but the idea with the Hangouts in particular is once we get going in the course, we're going to be very much guided by you guys in terms of content for the Hangout sessions. So if you've got a lot of people wanting to talk about open science and public policy, then obviously we'll definitely be up for doing that and covering that kind of material in the discussions in the Hangouts. So what will happen each week, I don't know how much you guys have reviewed the course, but each week we have an activity which is usually one that will be discussed in the Hangout that we refer to and say, oh, we'll come back and talk about this in the Hangout. That will take up part of the Hangout time, and then the rest of it we're going to be guided by what you guys want. So yeah, I mean, if you want to talk about open science and public policy, and we've got other people that want to talk about that, then that would be awesome, and we can kind of make that happen. So the course is kind of, we haven't kind of covered every single thing in what we're doing, but yeah, that will definitely be something that sounds cool to explore. I know there's I'm sure you've already seen on the P2P site as well, Billy runs a course about open science. Let me just find Okay, yeah. So there's a course called Open Science. I don't know if you're familiar with this one. I'm gonna paste. Excuse me, I'm just pasting between things. So there's a link to a course on P2PU that's run by Billy of Creative Commons, talking about open science. So that might be of interest as well if you haven't already encountered that. But yeah, we're going to be led by what you guys want to talk about and let discussions unfold during the course. So hopefully that's answered
Okay.
your question.
Can you listen?
Yep.
I can hear you now.
Okay. So the thing is, right now I'm working with the, let's say, the Ministry of Higher Education and Science and Research, as
Hmm.
well, in my country, in Ecuador. So I'm interested in developing a public policy on open science, open research, well, and also other knowledge areas, let's say. So, I'm following the course. I think I have, so far I took the first 4 lessons. Um,
Okay, great. So yeah, that's
yeah,
really
and it's not nothing new. Let's say so far it's
good.
interesting. I like to read the papers and I have a kind of a strong background on certain things to take decisions. But that's it pretty much so far. So yeah, I'm kind of interested in creating either public policy, perhaps some projects that could lead to something else.
Hmm.
Also, understanding that at some point perhaps this could have an impact in the region if we manage together to build a strong policy that could be applied in Latin America, let's say. Um, so yeah, it's a good opportunity. I wanted you to have that in mind. Okay.
Sorry, I interrupted.
That was it.
Okay, no, that's really okay. No, that's great. Sorry, I was talking over you and we kind of. No, that's great. Oh, that's wonderful. That's great to hear that you've already started on the course, and obviously we're kind of starting from the ground, the basic kind of things, ground up, if you like, and kind of appealing to everyone. So yeah, if there are specific things like looking at public policy and research and things like that, that would definitely be good. I think I don't know if you're able to come on the Hangouts each week, but it would be good to. I'll definitely bear this in mind and kind of pass on this feedback to my colleagues so we're aware. Obviously, we've kind of asked people to introduce themselves at the start of the course. And so on, and we're getting a sense of who's actually joining the course, because obviously when you're running something like this, we don't know who's going to be coming along to join. So we're going to be tailoring it as much as we possibly can to what you guys want. So that's really useful to know that you have these specific interests, and it's wonderful to hear that that's what you're working on in Ecuador. And it'd be brilliant if we can find some ways of kind of helping you with your work through the course.
Okay, thank you.
No worries, thank you. Mariana, did you have any questions, or Melissa, did you have anything that you wanted to ask at all? I know that Melissa, you're probably just
Can
by
you
the sounds
can,
of it, just checking your
yes?
pass.
Can you hear
Hi.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, that's great.
Okay. Yes, in some way I have started with the materials, just seeing what it was around and all of that. And in some way, when you mentioned that it's going to be 3-4 hours per week, I
Mhm.
imagine that you mean just reading stuff, and on top of that there will be the hour of the hangout, or is something else that you are having in mind?
I think yeah, we kind of put timings on the activities to give people an indication of how long we estimated they would take. So we kind of roughly, when we started out designing the course, we thought, yeah, 3 to 4 hours a week would be a kind of reasonable amount, and we tried to create each week of the course to fit with that. Whether that works in practice, though, it will
That
be
would be another
interesting for
thing.
feedback. Obviously, if it's not quite working for everybody, then we'll have to look back and say, well, hey, maybe we need to think again about some of the timings on them. So that's kind of interesting. I mean, against each activity, there should be a time. It should be 20 minutes, an hour, whatever. The Google Hangout, yeah, I guess we were kind of thinking that that would be included in that 3 to 4 hours. But obviously, if it's taking people longer. I mean, I know that there's some optional activities and stuff in the course as well. Yeah, we may need to look at that again if it turns out that, you know, it's taking.
No, very much. It was just mainly I was starting to do some mind mapping with everything that has to do with open research, and in some way you can spend as many hours as you want doing mind maps or doing whatever you fancy, you know. So yeah, it depends what you want to do with the materials, and in some way, yes, probably just okay, we'll just read, pick up the main ideas, and from then onwards, let's see what we can do with it, you know. So I mean, it's just having that advisory timings, I think is good.
Okay, great. Hi, Led, great to see you.
Hi.
Are you there?
Hello.
Hi.
Just want to see if another mic's going to work better.
Great to have you on the call. Just to say, this call, as you probably know already, is just a kind of Q&A session, really. It's a kind of drop-in and drop-out session. I was going to sit here for the duration and just see whether anyone dropped by, and it's great that you guys have. So really, it's just an opportunity to ask any questions that you might have about the course itself, what we're doing before we start next week on the course. So yeah, that'd be great. If you've got any questions, feel free to fire away. In the meantime, I'll just check how we're doing on some of the other. Obviously, we've got the Hackpad open as well, which now that's cool. There's no comments there, and then also the hashtag, which people can ask questions on. And yeah, we're okay at the moment on there as well, which is great. So am I don't know if it's too presumptuous to kind of, assume, of all of you participating in the course, I know Andreas mentioned that he's already started and kind of looking at the materials. Have all you guys signed up, or are you thinking about signing up? Or
I have already signed up, so
that's
I will be committing myself to do it. So
okay.
let's see how it finishes.
That's all good. That's all good. Yeah. Okay. And was there anything in particular that? Okay, great. Now that's wonderful. Yeah, Melissa, that's great that you're going to start looking over the next few days. That's wonderful. Obviously, yeah, there's another week till we've got the first kind of proper hangout where it'll be more structured stuff. So that's awesome. I just wondered, the people that have kind of signed up on the course, what was there anything specific that you guys wanted to look at? Oh, that's all right, Melissa, no worries, that's cool. Whether there was anything specific that you wanted to... No notification system. Okay, that's a good point. The plan was I will be contacting people over the weekend by email with a kind of first, if you like, message to everybody who signed up with kind of further detail and kind of just a welcome email, really. Was that what you were referring to, Andreas? I'm sorry, or was there...
yeah, it's kind of, you need to make a follow-up, but when you're really busy, it's kind of, you forget to do certain things if you're not constantly reminded.
Okay.
So
Okay. At the moment, the plan is to email people. Probably, well, I was thinking of emailing people, or we were thinking of emailing people once a week, and within that, it would kind of have reminders about certain things. But if you had, I don't know, I mean, we're open to suggestions if people have tried better ways of notifying people about things. I can certainly ask some of the colleagues that we've been working with at P2PU how they've kind of used notification systems. But if there's any particular suggestions at this point, that would be great. Otherwise, we were going to kind of go along with contacting people by email. And I suppose what we could do is send a reminder the day before the Hangout, for example, and just say, well, hey, don't forget this is happening tomorrow. I think that's probably in the course the only thing that's specifically timed to take place would be the Hangouts. I don't think there's anything else that's taking place during the course. No, I think that's it. So that's a good idea. Okay, that's cool. You set up activity in your calendar. That's awesome. Yeah, that's a great idea. That's a good point. I will check in with other people and see what they've done. But at the moment, we were kind of going to go with emails. But yeah, I mean, we're kind of keeping it fairly freeform. So apart from the Hangouts, it's kind of up to people who are participating to choose how they want to do the course or when they want to do stuff. But that's a really nice idea to set up activities. So thanks. I'll just make a note. So thanks for raising that. I just wondered, while we've got you guys here, which is great, whether there was anything, what exactly kind of, just to get an idea of different people's backgrounds, and Andres already kind of mentioned a bit about his background and the work that he does on public policy research. I just wondered what else, if anything in particular, attracted or kind of made you sign up for the course, or think that this might be a good opportunity to participate in. And maybe if there's certain questions that you have about open research that you're looking for us to address. So Andreas already kind of mentioned public policy related work. So, and also I know that you guys have got the opportunity to introduce yourself as well as part of the course. But if there is anything that you guys want to say at that point, that'd be really useful, and I can make a note and we can start thinking about how we can kind of look at those things in the Hangouts as we go through. So I'll turn it over to you guys a second. Thanks.
Would you like to go ahead, Blair?
Hey, sorry, Mariano, I didn't catch that.
I was just inviting Lair if he likes to start doing an introduction of himself, or if not, I start. I don't have any problem.
I can try. Can everybody hear me?
Oh.
Is my microphone picking up?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yeah, it
well,
sounds. I can hear from here.
Okay, my name is Laird Stevenson. I work in South Africa for the University of South Africa, and I provide support to students who are doing online learning. I'm looking at doing some research on the internet, and having not done that before, I thought, well, let's know how to do it correctly. And that's why I've signed up for this, to find out how to do the research correctly, and also looking at the possibility of using different MOOCs to assist our students, to advise them and give them some help with things that they're struggling with. So that's basically where I'm coming from.
Okay, that's wonderful. Thank you. That's really useful. Yeah, that's really useful. I mean, as everybody may or may not be aware, I'm part of the OER Research Hub team, which has written, co-authored this course. So we will be, as the course progresses, at various points there'll be things to do with the research that we've carried out. And obviously you can ask us questions about that as well. But we've tried to make it that it's not just about our project, because obviously we want people, the widest possible number of people to be able to participate and contribute. So that's really useful, and I really hope that what we're doing will be helpful to what the research that you're planning to do. So that's really great. Thanks.
Okay, I'm going myself now. Well, I am Mariano Rico. I work in the Institute of Education and Technology in Open University. I am a colleague of Bex and the people in the Open Educational Research project, and I'm quite interested in going with everything open. So we're trying to find out all the possibilities that can be done with open resources and with open research, but on the other hand, as well, confronting the dualities and the problems that happens with open on itself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we got issues with open data, and in some way, government, for instance, is giving plenty of open data, open within quotation marks, and how corporations can be making use of open resources without making the results of their products open. And that is something that I would like to find out how we can make the things accommodate one thing with another, just saying, okay, open research, and in some ways happening as well with research. We got the issues of some people doing the open research and providing open access to their data and to their results, while some other people is doing it behind the paying wall, which can be a bit out of balance and even a little bit unfair as well. So yeah, just trying to try to see how we can accommodate those ideas.
That's great, Mariana. Thanks. Just making a note of those things. Yeah, and certainly in
I mean, it's quite a paradox that we got both kind of things. You know, we got the open state of mind and people who is making a profit out of that openness as well. So it's just trying to find out how we can sort out that paradox.
That's great. Okay, I think Andres is checked out, which is great. So that's wonderful that he's participating in the course, and it'd be really interesting to hear more about what he's doing with public policy research and stuff in Ecuador. That's awesome. Thanks, Melissa, as well, for posting a bit about her where she works at Seeding Labs. That's really interesting. I'm just going to take a quick look at that now. Okay, OER philosophy and tools, awesome. Community research is great. Wonderful, okay. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, that's really great. One of the things as we kind of go into the course, this will come out anyway. I don't know if you are interested in the work that we do at the OER Research Hub. We do make all of our research instruments openly available, so you guys can look at the and use the all CC BY license. But the things that we, the survey questions and so on that we use. I'm just going to post up a link to that in case it's of interest for anyone. I don't want to talk about the project too much at this point. Okay, so we've got a researcher pack which contains things that may or may not be useful for what you guys are thinking about. I'm just going to post the link here. So this may be helpful if you are interested in what we do as a project to give you an idea. And obviously you feel free to ask us questions. So I'm just looking back at Melissa's point. Yeah, we'll be covering different bits of these things as we move through the course. That's great. We're also looking at training courses. Okay, that's interesting. Is it that, so when, are you looking to develop training courses in anything specific? Is it around kind of the topics that School of Open are covering, or, sorry, that's a bit vague, but that's quite interesting. Yeah, if there is any way that we can help with that, or if it would be useful to hear more about how we put together the course, then feel free to drop me a line and we can talk more. I have published a couple of blog posts and I'm due to publish another one on how we put the course together. Just to give you some background, I don't know, hopefully this is interesting. Please tell me if it's not relevant, if it's not just shout, but we started kind of talking about putting the okay, awesome. Okay, that's great. That sounds wonderful. Thanks, Melissa. Yeah, if it is helpful to find out more about the course, okay, yeah, no worries. Okay, so let me just grab up the blog post that I've written. So I can use it for use with me. Okay. So I'll just get these blog posts up a second, and then hopefully that will be useful, and you can check them out and just see what you think. So yeah, we kind of started talking about doing this course back in February, I think it was, much earlier in the year, and we kind of worked collaboratively, and we went through the P2PU community review process as well for the course. So I'm just going to bring up on our website, if you use the hashtag, if you use the tag Open Research, you should bring these up. Where's the main post? Okay. So what I'll do is post so this was a okay. So sorry, it's just taken me a while to find the one and digging around. Okay, so I'll just post this link in here. This is a link to a post. Obviously, it was written back in June. Since then, we've gone through quite a number of other changes to the course and so on. But it might be useful in giving you a bit of background about what we did and how it happened. Yeah, it's quite. Just bring up how far did we get? Okay. So yeah, we went through a community review process before tweaking it again, and then myself, I'm the kind of researcher responsible for, although it's co-authored and we've all kind of collaborated to write the course as a team. I was the person that was responsible for kind of putting it up on P2PU and kind of finalising it, and we went back and made revisions and stuff. So I'm going to be writing an update to the post, but this one should hopefully give you a bit of an idea of how we went about doing it. So hopefully that's useful. But if you do have specific questions, feel free to shoot me an email and stuff, or I'll just give you the I'll give you the help email address, and then you can feel free to So that's our email address. Feel free to just shoot us an email, and if you've got any questions at all about how we did the course, or if you wanted to talk more about it on a separate call, then we're totally happy to do that as well. So, but that's really useful. Yeah, that's great. Hope that's useful. I'll just have a quick look if anybody's coming with any questions or comments. No worries, that's great. I'm glad I can be of help. Okay. Okay, it's pretty quiet at the moment on Hackpad and Twitter. Did anyone have any other questions? It could be about facilitating, or not facilitating, we're not doing the course yet, but about creating the course, or any other questions. Feel free to ask away. Or if you wanted to kind of introduce, or you had specific things that you wanted to kind of mention that you'd like to cover as part of what we're doing, and obviously I'll feed this back to the team and we'll see what we can do whilst we're running the course. So feel free to come in with anything at all at this point. Thanks. Okay, well, we're just past the half-past point at the moment. Obviously, this is just totally open for any further questions that anybody have about the course. And we will be starting properly next week, so expect a full hour-long hangout next week, which will be with me and a colleague, where we'll be talking about open research and kind of exploring some of the questions and ideas about the kind of idea and practice of open research. So we'll have the full hour-long hangout next week, where there'll be a lot more kind of there'll be a lot more structured. As I kind of mentioned at the beginning, this hour was kind of originally. It's great to see that people have turned up on the call actually, because I did wonder whether it would be a drop-in or drop-out session. But no, it's been lovely to talk a bit more with you guys and find out a bit more about what you're doing. So that's fantastic. And also, yeah, it's great to meet you before the course starts as well. So I don't know if anybody had any other comments or things that they wanted to mention at this point. I didn't have a specific agenda because I'm just kind of here to answer your questions really and hear a bit more about what you guys are doing. So I'm just going to hand over to everybody in case. Yep, no, that's great. Thanks, Melissa. That's wonderful. So I'm going to close the call in a minute, I think, and then if there are any further questions for people, then I'll read it on the Twitter hashtag anyway. I don't know if you guys had any other questions before we close. I think obviously this was kind of unstructured and free form, so unless anybody does have anything burning that they want to mention at this point, then we can close, and obviously next week we'll be back to talk in more depth about the concept and practice of open research, and we'll start the course properly, and it will be great to see everybody then. So I'll just open it up for final thoughts from anybody or final questions, and great to meet you too, Melissa, as well, and it'd be wonderful to see you, and I hope you can make the call next week. So I'll just open it up very briefly to everyone, and then we'll close the call. So, okay, over to you guys a second. Okay, wonderful. Just me and you, Mariano. So I'll say that's great to see you. Yeah, so thank you, and I'm going to stop broadcasting in a minute. So thanks for coming on the call. Right. I'll see you next week. I'll see you before. Take care. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.